Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby and today we're talking about how to create your future 3 steps by Joseph Murray. If you're new to this channel and you want to learn more about how to create the future you want and get rid of old limiting thought patterns, go ahead and start right now by hitting that subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos. For those of you who don't know, Joseph Murphy was a thought leader in the early 1900s, born right around 1900, wrote about 30 different books from in the 50s and 60s that had a lot to do with the power of your subconscious mind. So I'm taking 3 of his ideas on how you can create the future that you want. Now the first one is to take attention away from your old hurts and wounds and that cyclical thinking that has gotten you to create. These are the seeds that you've planted in previous and now they're fruiting whatever it is that you're harvesting in life right now. Now this is a huge caveat. Don't think that you can simply forget and move on from these traumas. These traumas are there and they will not go away. They are actually stored in your body. Sometimes they represent physical ailments, cancers, actually body aches. If you haven't read the book already, The Body Keeps a Score, it is a fascinating look into how trauma is stored in the body. So you're going to need to go to therapy, have some sort of spiritual practice, meditation, to really get in there and break through into the trauma to heal it. Once you heal it, you begin to transmute it, you begin to process it, and you begin to turn that wound into wisdom. Then you can leave that in the past. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we are oftentimes addicted to our thoughts because it releases a chemical that our body is used to. So if it's thoughts of worry and you start looking into living a more harmonious life, looking to have more peace in your life, well, your body's going to be like, hey, it's 1 p.m. You're supposed to worry about the future right now. You're supposed to get really scared and anxious about whatever money situation you have. Where is it? I need those chemicals, just as somebody who is addicted to a substance needs that substance so they can have their hit, their high. The same thing happens when you release those thoughts to release the chemicals in your brain. So realize that not only is this an addictive pattern in the chemistry of your body, but those wounds won't go anywhere for you to get out of that cycle until you really dive into them, process them, transmute them into wisdom, and then move on. So that first step is forgetting those old wounds, but the process in which you do it is critical to completely transmute those situations so that it gives you that fruit of wisdom so that you can leave that in the past, use the wisdom to help create your future. The second step is to take time every morning and every evening to plant seeds of what it is the future that you want. So it's a system that's going to help begin to spread those new ideas, those new thoughts, that new reality into your future life. And we've talked about this if you've watched past videos of mine, which the reason that is so pivotal is because of brain waves. So as you're waking up in the morning, you're going from delta to theta to alpha and ultimately to beta, which is in what we're in right now. Our brain's active, it's alert. So as you're waking up, specifically as your eyes see light, it's going to reduce serotonin and get out of melatonin, where when melatonin is still processing and still active in your body and you're going from that delta to alpha state, that is basically the gateway to your subconscious. So if you make it a practice that every day as you're waking up, you're reciting, you're visualizing, you're vividly feeling in your body that reality, that future that you're wanting to create, you're feeling it right now, you're bridging that gap. You are now living it, you're putting it in your subconscious that is now your expectation, that is now natural to you. At the same time, when you go to bed at night, as the sun goes down, between 1 to 2 hours after it's set, melatonin starts producing at a higher rate in your body because you need to go to sleep. Sun's down, serotonin levels are down. So you'll do the same thing, but you do it in reverse. You'll go from beta to alpha to theta to delta. Now again, alpha to theta is pivotal for you to plant those seeds. So if you create a system and a practice and have the discipline to know that every day you're planting those seeds for that new future that you want to create, it will really start showing in your life that you're changing what you feel is natural for you to experience in life. You are implanting in that subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is going to then start broadcasting that onto the canvas of reality. Third step in creating the future you want, in Joseph Murray's words, are to chop off the head of fear, doubt, and worry. And one of the most interesting things he says here is that you can cremate old fears and doubts. You need to cremate them, you need to throw them out and burn them. And an interesting technique, he says, is whatever fearful thought, whatever thought that doesn't align with the future you want. So maybe you want to have abundance in your life and you're looking at your checking account, or you're going to the store and wondering how you're going to pay for it. Anytime you have these thoughts that are cast into the future about that uncertainty and, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get out of this, whatever it is, he says to stop it. Never complete a negative thought, like the whole sentence, like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid, and then catch yourself. So this goes back to awareness. This goes back to using a meditative practice so that you can become more familiar and know yourself. Goes back to step one about healing those things, finding out if there's a hole in your ship and you just keep trying to bucket out, you know, the water. You need to get to the hole in the ship. You need to seal. A huge flow of water is no longer compromising your vessel. So once you put that barrier in and you're contained and you're safe, you can then create. And this step three, as you start to think these thoughts, chop them off, replace it with that future that you want to create. You start programming your RAS, your reticular activating system, to look out into the world, to find that future that you want to create. See those opportunities that you're not able to see when you stay in the addictive nature of those thoughts, looking for that confirmation basis and going back and focusing on what it is you want and not being deceived by the external circumstances right now. This is a big Neville Goddard. The assumptions, a law of assumption. Assume that the wish you want to be fulfilled is true right now. Do not let your sensory inputs take it as those are rejecting it. That's when confirmation basis comes up. Oh, okay, I'm going to put my attention on the thing that's going to prove that what I think about reality is true. And all these 99 things that are possible for me to say, hey, wait a second, maybe there's something possible for my future. Maybe I can be this highest level of myself. You start opening up your realm and your filters to that, and you can start seeing the opportunities that are there right now. And again, step three is chopping off the head of fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, any negative thought and belief that's perpetuating. You replace it. You don't ever finish that sentence. Even if you're on the last word, stop it. And another one technique you can add to this is from Maxwell Maltz. Even Joe Dispenza talks about this in his meditative practices, which is to say out loud, stop. Now, if you're in a grocery store and you're having these thoughts, you don't have to scream stop and change at the top of your lungs, but you can say it outside. I do think it's powerful for you to hear it from your mouth. Stop, change. That's going to tell your subconscious that is no longer okay. It's helping you to reprogram that conscious. So again, if it's like, oh, I'll never meet somebody, stop, change. And then you replace that with a positive, affirming, and a thought that's in alignment with what you want to experience. And realize that your future is your thoughts made visible right now. Whatever it is you're thinking right now, either in alignment with what you want or continuing on with a life that you no longer want to live, your future is going to be a reflection. It's going to make those invisible thoughts visible, and that is your future. Using these three steps can really help to change your life dramatically by changing the programming in your brain. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit like. It helps to spread this information. It helps to support this channel and lets me know that you like this video. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.